Thank you, and we will have a word with him, Soaz, after that victory. Congratulations, first off. And I mean, the first thing I have to ask you is about the coaching situation currently. We know there's always a lot of things to do about OG and coaching. Why, in your mind, did the former coach not live up, and did Peke have to step in?
The thing with us is we'd rather have analysts that work with us than rather than a coach that try to help us with like personal stuff. We feel like we are adults, so we kind of know what we have to do in like our life to make it so we can perform good during LCS or other tournaments. So we are working with an analyst now, and Peke is like our coach or helping us a lot more with the game, at least for this week. So yeah, we're gonna try that for now.
So, how has Coach Pekka performed? Like, you can be honest. Don't worry, he won't probably fire you.
No, he told some good stuff about our team comp before the game starts. That we should like play it slow. The game showed that we played the game kind of slow. Um, I think we could have probably do a bit better if we would have built a bit MR earlier because LeBlanc was dealing a lot of damage. So yeah.
Yeah, looking at the game though, and we actually have a replay that I just want to highlight this factor. It looked like the communication improved for Origin because there was two plays that required basically the entire team to work together here. First, we had the rotation where Sven obviously comes bot and he joins you for that push on that siege. So that is like a map play that we've seen very rarely from Origin. Later on, you guys have the double teleport play in the top lane. Is this something you have focused on in the later weeks, or is this Expected helping you, or what made it click?
We try to play a bit more gangplank in scrims, or at least try to make it so he's open because it's really hard to practice him. And the good thing about him is that my bot lane can often run to my lane, and I can ultimate top lane, the other side of the lane. So we often gonna win in terms of like split pushing because we have the gangplank ultimate to slow them a bit. So it's a bit easier to split push. Also, we have the Tristana that is really strong 1v1 on side lane. So yeah.
Yeah, and that seemed to be your approach for the mid game then. Keep the split push open, always fix the broken lanes with Gangplank ulti. But it did go a little slow, you said, when you sat down at the desk.
Yeah, it went slow because I think maybe Nils should have like get MR a bit earlier, and I should have get MR as well. Also, Ari couldn't really go against the LeBlanc. She could like pressure, but not pressure enough to give us
break open the map,
enough space. So we had to rely on like keeping the pressure and then wait to maybe get a Baron or poke a bit the top turret with Tristana, the E and things like this.
Do you think Origin in its current form can apply that strategy against some of the better teams? Or because I feel like Spice was playing pretty far back and not really making any openings. They got the LeBlanc roam one time from bot lane to mid lane where they caught you guys off guard. Do you think it will be hard for you guys to take a win in that matter against some of the better teams, things like H2K, G2?
I'm not sure like how it will go. The thing is, this game was like pretty hard because they are really mobile with like LeBlanc and Queen, so it was hard to like pressure sides and stuff like this. But I think most of the times in the games we have good early games, at least like 80% of the time or something, and then we tend to not play so well in the mid game. So if we can fix this mid game issue, I think we can play well against the top teams. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen like this season you had like a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes in a way that you see everything seems to be going well, and at some point you just like make an oopsie in a way that they get Baron for no reason pretty much, that they just rotate there and you're not in position. Why do you think that is, that this happens now and not before?
I don't really know. The game is not like so much different, but there's like a lot of new champions. You have to learn to play against new champions. The meta is really turret oriented. There is not so much like you don't really play for Drake anymore. You have kind of to like sometimes we even forgot to analyze their team comp and think that okay, they are free middle, but they could do Baron as 2, for example. So we try to think as much as possible about like all the things that enemies can do, but sometimes we tend to forget a few things, and this is what like cost us some games sometimes.
All right, well, fantastic insight there from you. Congratulations in any case on the win for Origin. So as very good hearing from you guys. It's time for us to take 5, well, 3.5 to be exact. But when we return is the #1 G2 versus Vitality.